She's a college student. Finally free, finally out. One night her friends shove a phone in her face, some autumn game, sparkly art, cute boys. She clears normal mode, no problem. Then she sees hard mode, and makes the worst decision of her life. She woke up inside the game. Not as the sweet heroine, as the villainess. The one every character in the story is supposed to destroy. And the clock is already ticking. She grew up as the illegitimate daughter of a wealthy man. No warmth waiting for her. 2 half-brothers who made every year miserable. A father who saw everything and chose nothing. Food withheld. School made unbearable. Quiet kind of cruelty that never crossed a line anyone would call out, but never stopped either. She survived it the only way she knew how. She studied, got into university. And the day she walked out with her own suitcase and her own front door key, she finally felt free. That's who she is, someone who had to fight just to get to ordinary. So when her friends introduce her to Daughter of the Duke, she's in a good mood. She plays through normal mode as Ivan, the sweet Duke's daughter everyone loves. Easy, fun, happy ending. Then she sees it, a hidden ending for 100,000 won. And right next to it hard mode. She could get the hidden ending for free, just by completing hard mode. She picks hard mode. Hard mode plays from the perspective of Penelope Eckhart, the villainess. Magenta hair, cold eyes, a dark purple dress. Affection scores that start deep in the negatives. Not the real Duke's daughter, a commoner girl who got adopted because she resembled someone and then grew up to be a problem nobody wanted. In the game, every love interest eventually turns on her. The crown prince drives his sword through her. Game over, over and over. But she doesn't give up. She grinds all night, dying over and over, watching Penelope get cut down from every angle until somewhere around dawn, something shifts. She stops seeing a character on a screen. She starts seeing someone she recognizes. Then she falls asleep at her desk and wakes up as Penelope. First thing she notices the maid. She recognizes her immediately. Same woman who appeared right before 2 of her deaths. Second thing, she can't move freely, can't speak freely. Her body only responds when the game's dialogue prompts appear, floating in the air like she's still holding a phone. But she's not holding anything. She looks at her arms. Puncture marks. From needles. The mechanics are real, the hunger is real, the pain is real. And Penelope's affection scores are deep in the negatives, with every male character in the story, which in hard mode doesn't just mean a bad romance. It means they kill her. She does the math fast. She's alive. That means hard mode has just started, and the first event is the breakfast scene. The one she already died on twice. She knows this scene. She died on it twice. 3 options appear. Flip the table, feed the maid, or just eat. First time, she flipped the table. The maid ran to the Duke. She got locked in a room and starved. Second time, she tried feeding the maid. Reynold walked by at exactly the wrong moment. He shoved her off the maid. She went down onto a fork. Neck wound, dead. So this time she eats. Her body moves the second she selects the option. No hesitation, no control, hands reach for the bowl before she can brace herself. One look inside, gray liquid, something floating in it, mold on the bread. This is what they serve the Duke's daughter. She forces it down because this is reality now. There is no reset button. She almost doesn't make it. Her body pitches forward, the bowl hits the floor, and then a voice from the doorway. Pink hair, blue eyes, that lazy half-put-together look. Reynold, the Duke's second son. He crouches down beside her. Hey, are you okay? And something about that hits harder than it should. Because she's been here before in her actual life. 2 brothers who wore her down for years. A household that served her the bare minimum and called it enough. And now she's in someone else's body, someone else's nightmare, and it's the exact same thing. She knows what his route looks like. She knows where his concern begins and where it ends. 3 prompts, all hostile. The game built Penelope to push people away, and it doesn't offer a warm response. Not now, not ever. Reynold notices the food, the mold, the gray soup. He goes cold and quiet. Tells the maid to leave the room. Then looks back, should he call a doctor? If she didn't know this world, she might be grateful. But she does know it. Don't bother. He goes still, doesn't push, stands, and the distance between them snaps back into place. He has no idea she didn't mean it. He stares her down like she's a problem he's already bored of. You. Then through gritted teeth, fine. He doesn't even try to hide the disgust. There isn't a doctor in this estate who can make time for you anyway. He turns to leave, throws the last line over his shoulder like it costs him nothing. Stuff your face with whatever you want. You can even die if you wish. Then the affection counter appears. -3%. She blinks at it. She scoffs, water dripping down her face, still rinsing the taste of that rotten food out of her mouth. It was definitely -10% last night. She mutters it quietly, like a fact she's already made peace with. Well, negative is still negative. She sits alone in her room, and the silence gives her too much space to think. Come to think of it, what was the game's description of Penelope Eckhart again? A quiet sigh. I thought this while playing the game too, but she really is pretty. Magenta hair, turquoise eyes, a face that looks vicious despite its beauty. I guess a villainess is still a villainess. But then the memories hit differently. She's like me, the way she lived in poverty until her mother died and she was taken in, and the way she lived in isolation after losing her father's interest, scorned by everyone in the house. She didn't know while she was playing the game. She was too busy watching her die. A flash of her real life, walking out with a suitcase, finally free. I had finally escaped. I coped with living in that damn house for so long, got into college, finally had my own cramped, dirty little home where I could actually rest. I had finally escaped those bastards. And now she's here, in another version of the same nightmare. Is this what they call a villainess of creation? It's not even normal mode. At this rate, this is no better than before. Because the system doesn't sugarcoat it. Hard mode starts at 0 affection across the board. Special male protagonists begin in the negatives. And when affection is negative, the probability of a death ending is extremely high. In other words, the people in this story aren't just going to ignore her. They're going to kill her.
She pats her cheek, forces herself back into focus. Who is pitying whom? She slams a pen on fresh paper. First, the characters. 5 male protagonists. 5 people who can end her. The system even offers to pull up their profiles. She hits yes without blinking. Derek Eckhart, age 24, the Duke's eldest son and heir. Cold, severe, built like someone who was born disappointed. He resents Penelope for taking his real sister's place, and when the story reaches its breaking point, he's the one who strips her of the Eckhart name. His line is practically a signature. I am temporarily removing Eckhart from your name. Total death flag. She crosses him off hard. Reynold Eckhart, age 20, the pink-haired second son she already clashed with this morning. Belligerent, foul-mouthed, always looking for ways to make her life harder. Starting affection, -3%. The lowest negative she's currently dealing with. Almost comforting compared to what's coming. She thinks of her real brothers. They're basically the same as the bastards in my family. She crosses him off too. Callisto Regulus, Crown Prince of the Empire of Yorka. A cruel tyrant who treats people like objects, and the one who drove his sword through her at the end of almost every hard mode run. There's apparently some buried reason for his disposition, something buried deep in his route that she never got far enough to find. She crosses his name off so hard the pen tears the paper. He was no different from the Grim Reaper, Winter Verdandi. In normal mode, courteous, romantic, gave everything to support Ivan, even ran an information network that exposed Penelope's schemes. In hard mode, a complete unknown. She never survived long enough to reach him. But compared to the others, there's still more hope here. She leaves his name on the list. Eccles, apprentice knight of the Eckhart household. Originally a noble from a fallen kingdom, now enslaved. His sword skills caught the Duke's eye. Quiet, taciturn. But in normal mode, he was the most neutral of all 5. He showed sympathy toward Penelope even as everything fell apart around her. Even as the others turned against her, he didn't. She circles his name. I have the most hope in Eccles among the 5. She stares at the paper. 2 crossed out, 1 circled, 2 unknowns. And her information is severely limited, because she kept dying before she could learn anything useful. She doesn't even know how much of the game's rules still apply in this reality. The day Yvonne returns, that's when everything collapses in normal mode. Hard mode starts earlier, which means the clock is already running. A single tear slips out. She doesn't wipe it, just clenches her fist, hard. That can't happen. After finally escaping my own damned family, how could I just die inside a game? I refuse to die. I will do anything I need to survive. I will most definitely survive and return to my life, without fail. Then, knock knock. A servant's voice through the door. The Duke seeks your presence. She looks up, wipes her face, straightens her shoulders. The game is calling.
5 chapters in, she hasn't even survived her first full day. She's eaten rotten food, pushed away the only person who showed her a moment of kindness, and now the Duke is calling. She has a plan, she has a pen, she has every memory of how this story is supposed to end, but hard mode has never been played the way she's about to play it. Subscribe because part 2 is where the story really starts to move.